plant is Nerium oleander. It's familiar to most of us, but it should be talked about because it's still used in design quite a bit. This is an industrial area where they wanted to screen this fence that you can see behind there and give some evergreen screening so it just didn't look so harsh. I used to work right down the street here, and this area sat looking pretty nasty for a lot of years. And about 5 years ago they planted this row of oleanders, and they established them on the most basic drip system, so very little water was necessary to get these guys going and happy. And as you can see, it sure looks a lot better than a bare fence. So although these were overused for a lot of years, they still have an application in my opinion, and depending on the variety you use, size and spacing is going to vary, so you kind of need to check on that. This is probably Oleander St. Agnes. It's a single white flower. Got this red variety next to it. I'm not sure what that is. And the St. Agnes is the largest growing variety. It can get up to 20 feet tall and wide, which I have seen before. So kind of think about that when you're deciding on the variety, not just the color, but the maintenance associated with the plant. You know, they really only needed about 8 feet right here, so as these things get bigger, they've got quite a row of them running down this fence line, and if they want to be 20 feet tall, but they don't, the plant wants to be 20 feet tall, but they only want these to be 8 feet tall, they've got a lot of maintenance ahead of them. So be selective about what sizes you choose. I think in this situation the color of the flower is not as important as the fact that they wanted something green and colorful and low maintenance. And so if that's the case, then for me the size is the more important issue here, not the white one, not the white color. So I'd probably pick one of the varieties that stays a little shorter. Super low water user, once these are established you can essentially shut them off and give them no summer water, so incredibly drought tolerant. And also the deer leave these alone. Now strangely enough, I have heard of deer eating oleanders, but I wouldn't design around that idea. That's an anomaly. That's not the rule. So you can use these in deer areas as well, and they're well used for that very application. So Nerium oleander, very handy plant for any designer's arsenal, and there's a couple of dwarf varieties that are quite nice as well. I will say this, I've heard of a disease that hits these plants, especially in Southern California. I have not seen that in Northern California. It's 2011 right now, and I haven't seen or heard of it being up in this area yet, but I have heard that in Southern California there's some form of disease that affects the oleanders. So if you're in these areas, look into that before using this plant.